This is the next part of our adventure of getting a systematic view onto the dagger. Welcome, this is Kitsune-ryu Martial Science Academy and I'm your professor. As with all the other videos before, I suggest if you have not seen any of the other ones, please go to the one video explaining why the dagger matters also to you if you're not into medieval or late early modern times fencing. We looked already at half-sword defenses and crossed half-sword defenses. And we came to the point that these ones are always putting our dagger in a 1 position and these ones are in a 2 position. And it's a very easy way from this to get into another type of 1 position by opening this here, the opening scissors. And you might at first say, why? Because if I deflect like that, I have a nice deflection, right? My dagger protects me. And once again, please, and if I do it like that, the dagger of the opponent is coming closer to me. But on the other hand, look how fast I'm into a follow-up technique with that. Because the attack basically falls into my trap and I can go into that. And you can immediately see this is again a 1 position. So this is again very similar to our half-sword entrances. But as the dagger is down, I have again this nice crossing options without using my thumb. And so let's dive into these ones. If we are here, we can come over to this side. And if I'm in this distance, this is a simple type of disarm. I have the control over the opponent. So hop, and here we are. The same goes into the other direction. So we are here, we close and we move over here. And it's very painful at the wrist and we can strip off the dagger and we can control the situation easily. Once again. Now I was so fast that I couldn't even close the cross. Once again. Here we are. I changed the dagger here for fun. This is always the easy distance because it's very fast and very painful, putting a lot of pressure onto the wrist. On the other hand, the control is less good. So if you want to control more, we need to move further in to the next distance, and that's what we will do now. So we have blocked here. Here we close, and then we come over here, and we can already see this is now already locked. I cannot go further anymore. I can break the arm with ease. This is basically a variation of wakigatame from Jiu-Jitsu, where I cannot easily continue further. If I close the cross later, I can come to another position. From here, I can come over here and control with my dagger blade and then grab the dagger here. And now we have a type of a chicken wing with a lot of control, with a crossed arm, and we almost drop the dagger immediately. Again, painful squeezing on the forearm. This is just about the timing when I close this trap. Once again, we are here, and here I have closed now the trap. And this gives me the control. And by this we see again, this is a circle motion. This is 1 circle because my blade pushes the arm of the opponent into this circular motion. From here on I get trouble with the force, but therefore I have my left hand coming in here, pushing control. Once again. And here we are. Let's look at the other side. That needs to be a figure 4, right? So, we have blocked, we grab, and here we are already. And now we come to a point that I have so far avoided, a bit at least. I can do this with the left hand in front, and I can do that with the left hand behind. And for this side, this gives me in fact more power than this. But it's a minimal difference. Both will work. And it's probably up to what you prefer. You know, when people do this or this, they have a preferred direction. And the same is true for this or this. And you could argue it's related to which of my feet is in front, but it's in fact much more related to how I orient my shoulders, how I lean into something, how I orient my hip. So both is possible and will nicely work out. This was easy. This was so fast, in fact, that you almost cannot see it. The next one will be again slower because now we are changing to our forearm. Let's go to the circle side, which was already long. We will not see a lot of difference there because now our arm is again replacing the blade of the dagger. We make the same type of move. Here's our hold. This is in Jiu-Jitsu Udegaishi, and similar to what we have had already in other examples, we can use the free blade of the dagger to squeeze here again. So in addition to a shoulder lock, I can squeeze here the arm, and it gives me a lot of control. And you've seen I have a similarly long way to the case with the blade. I can be a bit meaner in this case. I can use my pommel to strike here onto the short ribs, and then I have my arm lock here. Please, once again. Here we are, and we have a lot of control. My second dagger. The other side will now have this change in length a bit, because we do the blocking motion here, and now we cannot rely on this fast move. We have to drag on the arm, and it's important. Don't drag like that. That's also not, look at my wrist. This is not good. I drag here. Now this blade comes up here, and I hook the blade over the forearm. We are now much closer, and you have a lot of control, and I can use my left arm to press down here, and then it's even more painful. I can also just strip the second dagger and have the entrance. So, once again, please. We do this, we are here, and there's our arm lock. Sometimes the opponent might be not flexible enough, and the opponent might straighten the arm, and then you can already see where this is going. This is going here. I can straighten the arm, and of course I'm now close to the left hand. The left hand might attack me, but I can lift the opponent up and throw the opponent to the ground. This is perfectly for if you come from judo, you would see this is a kind of seonage. This is ippon seonage with an additional armbar. And so we have now explored the three basic types of deflections. We had this type of deflection, and this type of deflection, and this type of deflection, and we see two of them favor a one circle and a one cross, and only one favors a two. And the thing is that will be reversed when we look at attacks from below. And that's the next part of the system that we have to look at, because so far we were only dealing with stabby from above. We can also do stabby from below. So, for the moment, hope we could inspire you. Hope to see you around next time.